Peace and love, family. Welcome back to my channel. Minister Dionne here. For those of you that are new, thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in to watch this video. We are deep diving into church hurt. All right, so many of you may or may not know, but I've shared in other videos about growing up very religiously and going to church much of a lot of my life. I have come to witness that in the churches, things are done in a way that makes people not want to be there. Okay? Makes us not want to have any part of it. And what I gather is the reason that is because if we look at this lens from a outside view, as someone coming in and thinking of us all as individuals, we all have our own individual drama, trauma, and energy. And when we come together as a whole, if all of us are not healed and whole, then we're creating a group of unhealed energy. We're creating a certain atmosphere that doesn't feel welcoming, because that would mean many of us are there dealing with our things, and then in the atmosphere in the room, it will feel like this disconnect, or this I don't want to be there type of feeling. Now, when you're singing the praise and worship songs or things of that nature, depending on the type of church or establishment you're in, praise and worship looks different everywhere. I've been to a lot of different synagogues, temples, churches, and it is very, very different. But I will just say, from this Baptist standpoint, there's a good feeling when the music is going. But from the door to inside the church walls, it could always feel different. And so first, I just want to give this big apology that I feel like we all need and would love to hear from. Maybe it's certain pastors, maybe it was people that were a part of that congregation that didn't make you feel welcome. And you may not ever get that sorry or apology from them, but I just want to send it to you on behalf of all those churches or people that have disappointed you. So today's message is about this church hurt that we all have experienced at some point. And really, we're really all believing in the same thing. We want to find our way. We want this wholeness. We want this experience of love. We want this abundance, right? And sometimes we go looking for it in the wrong places. Sometimes we go looking for it in places that we should receive it and we don't. And it's a part of this life journey, but also we have to think of this idea of church not being just the physical building that you go to. Church is the inward manifestation in connection to the Christ consciousness, or that high spiritual, most high vibrational energy within inside of you that makes you feel good, that makes you feel that you are loved, that makes you feel that you are at peace. Those good feelings of compassion and caring are all connected to that higher consciousness within you. But many of us are disconnected from that because there may have been trauma that we have experienced that created a particular energy shift within our subconscious mind, which is our body, that has led us to feel the anger, to feel the hurt. And many of us stay there. When I think back on my times of experiencing the church hurt, it was an interesting scenario because I have been heavily in the church as a school teacher in there, Sunday school teacher. And teaching the children, looking back on this, as like, it was such a beautiful moment to speak to the children from a place of, I feel like I had so much learning to go, but I was doing it and I was showing up, and it was a beautiful time. And long story short, I had met my significant other there, and we were what they call shacking up. And a lot of church pastors will basically feel a type of way and promote a certain type of way of shacking up. You know, you're not supposed to be living with someone before you're married. So my partner and I were living together, and they found out about this and asked me to step down. And I was so hurt by that, especially because it wasn't something that was brought to me initially. Of course, they had a whole meeting. They had a whole meeting. Now, mind you, like, the kids love me. I adored the kids. The kids were learning. None of my personal life was interfering with that. But because it was not the standard of the church practice, therefore, I didn't align with their way of doing things. And so that left me feeling really hurt. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but almost 10 years later, my husband and I still married to this day, but it was one of the things that really put a knife in my belly. It really hurt to know that that was the decision that was made. Altogether, I end up leaving, and I really have not ever spoke about this publicly, but I look back to that experience like, this is not what the church is supposed to be like. This is not that love of God experience. Yes, I believe that there should be a standard that we should set to help our young women, to help our young men. Yes, I believe that there's a standard. I also know a lot about Bible teachings and who's behind a lot of the writing and why. And so we have to use the tool wisely with discernment. Nothing is greater than the spirit within you, period. So if the spirit within you is guiding you to do things a certain way, then it is going to be higher, supreme than any interpretation or words written, because the energy in the spirit is within you. Your state of consciousness is supreme. And so I don't know if any of you have experienced church hurt. I would love to hear in the comments. But this is a big factor, because we're supposed to be reflections of God's heart. We are called to break the old paradigms and traditions of the way that things have been, because we're finding more of our collective consciousness more sick, more hurt, more traumatized, and we really just need love. The answer always comes down and always is love. And many of us are not giving love. We're not showing love. We're not being the example of love. I've been in churches where I've watched people who are at the top of the leadership have the worst attitudes, have the worst energy. And as a whole and a collective, that's not how it should be. When we walk into the door, because we are the church, even the scriptures, and this is the part of taking a piece of the tool of the wisdom to say, 1 Corinthians 12 is talking about it, and you can look this up. The body is one, having many members, like all together as a collective consciousness, just one can literally be that ripple effect to make the whole thing bad. You bite an apple in one place, and then that brown, it already starts to lose oxidation from that one bite in that one spot. It starts to spread. And if you don't end up eating the rest of it, it just goes. So it's like it spreads like wildfire if the energy is not in a good place. And so I believe that the leadership has to be strong, has to have good spirited energy. Now I get that we are all human and not perfect. Wholeness is what we're seeking. And it really requires us to just show more love and compassion for people. Because if one of us are doing it and we're all spreading love and we're all being compassionate in the best way that we can, as a collective consciousness, we're gonna get a better response to how we can make a greater impact. But this is only with us all being on the same page and begin working on just showing more love. It is that showing more love and doing the inward shadow work to help us ourselves be able to show more love. So what does this look like? How do we get to a place of showing more love? First, we have to give it to ourselves, because how could we give from an empty cup? How could we give from a place of not having it ourselves? We can't. So it requires us to invest time with ourselves on our own, sitting outside, sitting in your prayer closet. And that just requires you to hear your own thoughts. I have all these squirrels around me throwing acorns down at the car. I'm considering that to be a good love gift being received with what I'm saying. But I want you all to take the time to sit with yourself and hear your own inward thoughts. Many of us just don't even do that part. And we could begin this every single day of just closing our eyes. I know it sounds like, okay, but I'm telling you, one day, give yourself the time that you deserve, if you haven't already, to begin to sit with yourself and go inward. Taking a deep breath. The breath of life is the energy and the consciousness of the Most High within you. Many of us never experienced that, and we have been in survival mode, never taking a breath. And that breath gives us a life. And just sitting with that, there's so many times that I just sit with myself and the higher consciousness within me, and closing my eyes allows me to connect with that source of energy. And I feel the love. It's like bliss going over my body. And you don't come out feeling the same. And sometimes if I feel like my energy's a little off, I'll stay in that space longer. I encourage you. If you feel like you go, you sit down, you close your eyes, you're mad, whatever it is, you're angry, and then you go and you sit in this space and you just close your eyes and you just ask the Most High to come in and to help you feel that love and the connection, and ask, help me feel that love and connection within. If you haven't before, it is the most amazing experience that there's no words to really put on it. I say bliss, an energetic bliss that just comes over your body, of that love that you feel like you're like, gosh, I've been waiting my whole life to experience this feeling. That's the feeling. And if you don't feel it, you need to stay in it longer till you do. Because that's going to show a level of commitment and dedication to yourself. Your cells and your body deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve to feel the love and the compassion and the joy. Even if nobody's ever given it to you, I see you, I love you, and I want you to experience that type of joy for yourself. Regardless of what people have done, regardless of how people have treated you, I want you to experience that for yourself. And I want us to begin one by one breaking the old paradigms, which is that you have to go to church to be healed. You have to go to church to be loved. You have to go to church to get closer to God. No, the God in you is greater, and everything you need is in you. You can only be able to inwardly manifest that closer relationship with God. And people who create churches, buildings, synagogues, temples, that is an outward manifestation of what was within. It became so great, such a great love, that it's like, a building needs to hold the space for this type of love so that all people can come in and feel that way. And unfortunately, so there has been a disconnect of that bridge. I'm the bridge. I'm here to send my love to you, virtually giving you a hug right now. All the different emojis, the heart emojis being sent to you. I love you so much. And I want you to heal. I want you to know that I am a body of the church. I am the vessel to be used. I'm an angelic angel here on the earth, and we can all be that vibration to each other. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but someone has to start. And if I have to be that one, I will. The crazy thing is, I know that this, I will say, disconnect is happening. And this discomfort that many of us are feeling when it comes to the churches. Just recently, I took my daughter to an event at a church. It was open to the public, and it was quite the adventure, because I could already feel the energy from the time I started having encounters with people that go to that church. And it was so disheartening to witness, because I'm someone who is very connected with the Most High, and I have so much love and compassion in my heart. And to just be a visitor, I'm telling you, I was so taken back by the experience that I really felt I had to make this video, because I'm like, if this is what people are experiencing, and they may, like, you may have had the church hurt, you may have not wanted to connect again. I get it. And I have been, over the past years, I'm not a part of any particular church or anything. I am the church, okay? So you're going to get the best experience just with me here. And I'm a great representative. I mean, even in the Bible, where was it written that Jesus went to church? Okay, he was out with the people. He was out with the quote unquote sinners, okay? So I was out there, and I'm just like, this is not good. Like, if somebody that actually attended that church was to ask me would I be interested in becoming a member, it would be an absolute no. An absolute no. If I'm feeling the energy outside the church walls, because this was an outdoor event, imagine the energy within it, okay? This is a deep, deep, deep subject. And it really took me back to say, again, I feel you, I see you, and I love you. For those of you out here that are looking for that connection, just know that the answer is you. When you invest more time with yourself and your soul, you're going to grow closer to the God within you. You don't have to go looking outside of you. Many of us were taught to go look outside of us for the answer for everything, to continuously outsource. And we're in a time in this timeline that we're learning to begin to insource. We're learning that everything we ever needed was always within. That's one of the pieces of knowledge that they tried to keep hidden. I'm rooting for you, because we all need to be a reflection of God's heart here. We're all supposed to, as a part of our purpose, to help each other heal and evolve and serve. What ways are you showing up if you are on the other side of this? And if you're on the other side of hurt, my heart is to you in every way, shape, and form. I trust this video has found you well. Everything is within you. I see you. I love you so much. Alrighty, be sure to share this video out with a friend. I want to hear from you in the comments. Until next time, peace and love and light.